Hello again, Beardos. Welcome back to the channel. Gameproofer just released a new firmware update number 7. So we've got new firmware for our Gameproofer tag, and we're going to give it a few throws and we're going to test it. And I want to get this right because from their Instagram post, the new update will improve significantly the experience, especially with nose and hyzer angles, but also with accuracy, with arm and flight speed features. So accuracy, I'm not sure how I'm going to determine whether or not the update actually is more accurate, because there's no really way to determine from arm speed and spin rate and nose angle if it's actually accurate. So hopefully we'll get some new numbers out of this, but there is a little bit of a problem. And that problem is, it doesn't exist on this disc anymore. That's right. I've gone and I've reinstalled it onto my distance driver, which is a Westside Destiny. So I ordered a few of the reinstall kits from Gameproofer, and I also ordered from them a brand new magnet, because if you remember, I lost the magnet almost immediately. So they have a new magnet, and it is this. It is really neat. It's a bag tag. I'm not going to lose that. It's got the magnet on the back so I can turn this on wherever I want. So how did I get this onto the disc? Well, let's head back to the studio, and I'll show you exactly how I installed it. So I'm back here at the studio. I have in my hot little mitts the Discmania Gameproofer combo. Now, I bought this directly from Discmania Europe store, again, last August, so a year ago, and it was delivered in February. It took quite a while, but obviously they were getting stuff together, waiting for it. So on the bottom, you can obviously see the smart tag. Now, I reached out to the company a couple of days ago and asked them how to remove the tag without damaging it. I don't really want to apply heat because I worry about damaging the tag. So, and they haven't got back to me. So you know what? I'm just going to go at it. I've got a handful of tools here, and I'm going to try to get it off without damaging it. I would hate to throw away the $200 that I spent on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to watch their video, which they have posted online, which is a guideline for installing the tag. Now, again, like I said, their guideline does not include how to remove the tag. So I'm going to kind of go at that myself and try to figure it out. So let's flip over and watch the video.
How to attach a Gameproofer tag to your own disc. Disc. And you are ready to meet your skills. Thank you for watching. Have fun.
Seems pretty straightforward. Hopefully, I'm not going to mess the disc up too much. So let's put this over here. Let's get our tools out of the way. Okay, Gameproofer. Now, I've got a handful of tools that I picked out of our paint bin that I'm hoping I can use. I don't want something too wide. That's going to be a bit big, maybe, but would it deform properly to that? If I push back on that a little bit, maybe that'll work. How about that? Would that work? That's nice and thin. This one's small enough, but it's a little thick. I wonder if, and this obviously, I think that's not even gonna get out of there. That can go away. Okay, well, here we go. I think this is gonna be the way to do it, and I think it's gonna be the flat side. So let's get on this, and hopefully we don't destroy it. I'm just gonna slowly, so I'm just gonna, maybe I'll get the thinner one and try to just cut it off. That seems to be going in a little bit better. Just about there. Oh, there we go. Perfect. There we go. All right, it's off. I'm going to put this aside. And this thing, you can see, obviously, if I focus it, that it's got quite a bit of this gummy stuff on it. This should be easy to come off. And I can probably use the alcohol wipe to clean the back of this tag as well while I'm at it. All right, well, let's clean that up off camera. Okay, okay, that was the part that scared me most. Now, hopefully I didn't do too much damage to our smart tag. Okay, so let's get our new disc. And we're going to pull the sandpaper out of our little bag here. Oh, 20 grit, wow. Okay, they really want you to grind away at this. I've got other sandpaper too if I want to. Okay, so let's try to sand this a bit here. Get it good. Oh man, this is really, okay. Just want that flat as possible. Okay, all right. So that's good. Now we get our alcohol pad. Hopefully it hasn't dried out. That would be my other concern. If the alcohol pad would dry out. Is it good? No, it's wet. Okay, good. Let's give that a good cleaning. There we go. And I'm also going to give this a bit of a cleanup as well, just to try to make sure that the bond is really good. Good. Okay, let's give this a minute or two to dry, and then we'll do the application. You know what? While this disc is drying up, let's get my scale and let's get a weight on just the tag, because I think we figured it was close to 9 grams. Let's see what the scale says. Okay. It says 7 grams. 7 grams. Okay, so we got 7 grams on this. The other disc was 174, so that made it about 181. This disc is 172, if you can see that there. So that should make this 179 grams. So still within, I guess, legal weight or reasonable weight for a full weight disc at 180 grams. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this guy, the new adhesive, to the tag. Let's just peel that off. See if we can't get this pretty well centered. Oh God, I hope that's good. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense now. I can see why they've cut that out in the middle there for the for this little nib there. That little nib there. Okay, so that's attached. Now we are going to, let's get the camera set a bit better. And I'm going to take our little alignment tool, dealy. And I can see that is actually really going quite close to the center. So let's get our pen. We'll do our first line here. There's one. Let's move this around to another spot. Make sure that it's snug against the end. There, and if I do one more, it should line up just about perfectly. If I sit this exactly right, it should line up almost perfectly, okay? Look at that, that's pretty good. All right, now for the actual alignment, what I need to do is put this right in the middle. So you can see there, right in the middle. Hopefully you can see in there, you can see exactly where the lines are converging. Is dead in the middle. So now I need to, oh, let's peel this off first and put it aside so that it's ready to go. Probably pretty good. Okay. Don't touch that. Ah! Okay. Let's get back, make sure that is aligned exactly where we want it. Put that down. I'm going to use this guy to just poke the center bit out and make sure it doesn't move. And be a little more careful than he was, I think. Oop. All right, there we are. Now, let's get this guy right dead on the middle there. 5 seconds. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep some pressure on it. Now let's pull this off. And we'll go 15 seconds. 0, 1, 2, 13, 14, 15. All right, hopefully that's 15 seconds. So there we are. All attached and ready for the field. Looks like you can see through the plastic. It should be pretty well dead center there. Excellent. Okay. Let's let this sit for a day, and then we'll head out to the field and we'll give it a rip. Okay, so we're back here out in the field. I've got my Gameproofer installed on my Westside Destiny. I've let it sit overnight, so we've got plenty of time. The adhesive is attached really well. And so I've switched back over to the GoPro. I'm sorry if the picture, you're not really gonna be able to see the flight of the disc particularly well, but ideally I wanna be able to show you what's happening on the screen. So as you can see, I'll put that up on the screen now. And there's our app. And we're gonna go to discs. There's no connected disc. And I'm just gonna hover this in front of our brand new little magnet here. See if we can't get this to fire up. Should blink. Oh, there we go. We got connection. Firmware version 7. We are connected. And we're just going to wait for it to connect to the GPS. Although, frankly, I'm not that worried about the GPS. We're just going to do some throws. Distance isn't a big thing for me right now. So let's just get into some throws and see what my arm speed and my spin rate starts to look like. All right. All right, let's put that down. I'm going to start back here. What's going on there? All right, if you didn't see that, that thing came out of my hands and immediately flipped right over. Wow. Wow, I wonder if it's changing the flight characteristics. Let's go get that and see what happened there. I'm gonna take you with me. I'm flabbergasted. That thing flipped right over. I mean, the Destiny's an understable disc to begin with, but I mean, I wonder, that's 7 grams added to the disc, so that's a lot of weight right in the middle of the disc. So that really could change the dynamics. Now, I remember when this was still on that DD1, I had a friend of mine who was an MPO player throw it, and he could not get the DD1 to fly straight. It would flip over, and it's not particularly understable disc, but he just couldn't get any readings out of it because it was too understable. I'm wondering if this tag is making this disc extremely understable. All right, let's see, what do we got? Our latest throw. Okay, so no distance data, obviously, because it was only the GPS wasn't connected, and 51 miles per hour. And the spin rate of 1193. Okay, not bad. So the nose angle, now you can see that's now out of beta. So the nose angle was up quite a bit and the Hyzer angle was 8 degrees. Let's see if we can't get the Hyzer angle a little bit lower and see if we can't get this thing to fly a bit further. Wow, I cannot believe how understable this disc became. This thing, I can normally put this out relatively flat and it'll flex and just crush for me. So we're gonna put this on quite a bit more Hyzer. Try to get that nose down. That's better. Oh, that was a crush. Massive Hyzer angle though. Yeah, that worked out a lot better. So you can see that it's absolutely changed the flight of this disc. I wonder now if this thing is going to be, so remember the DD1, I can flex that out. I'm gonna try and throw this and see if this is much more overstable now that the tag is gone. I'm just going to try and throw this flat. Oh, really nice. That worked out pretty good. Nice carry forward. I'm going to have to go back and look at the video and see how much of a difference that actually made. All right, let's go find our Destiny. So before it connects, you know, you get a little bit of a reading ahead of time. Looks like the arm speed was up a bit. That nose angle still 8 degrees. That might be because I put it on so much of a Hyzer. And the Hyzer was -5, so down Hyzer for sure. There's the disc. There's our connection. 315 feet. Arm speed of 57 miles per hour and the spin rate of 1157. Now that Hyzer angle, that was on a massive Hyzer. So that was I'm wondering how that number relates. Maybe the Hyzer angle of 19 degrees is 19 degrees down. The nose angle still at 8 degrees, so that's still higher than I want it to be. But again, probably because my form needs some correction, and I need to figure out that how to get the nose down. So if this nose angle and this Hyzer angle is actually reading more accurately, if we're getting a better reading from it, this makes this much more useful if I wanted to throw it into the net in the backyard. Obviously the tech disc, and we had some great comments if you watch the video with the tech disc versus the Gameproofer. We had some fantastic comments. The comment section was amazing. I loved it. And there was one comment specifically that mentioned, guys, you need to throw the tech disc into the net. It's not designed to be thrown in the field. And maybe it's the same with this thing as well. But right now, the field numbers are great, and I should be able to throw it into the net closely. And again, not worried about distance so much, just want to get the arm speed and the angles right. So if you saw in the section where I was installing it, I had to do a bit of sanding in the middle, and PDGA regulations indicate that, you know, light sanding is not a problem. So I don't think that this is going to, the changes I made to this disc in order to install this are going to make it illegal for use in play. But obviously you don't want to play, you can't play with the tag installed. That would make it definitely illegal for sure, which sucks because now this has become maybe a really good roller disc. Why don't we try to put a roll on this and see what happens? Oh, I wanted a little bit more left to right wind, but drop. There we go. Okay, so we see a distance of 282 feet. My arm speed of 49. Obviously, it's a different throw, so it's going to be a little bit different. My spin rate was pretty consistent, and the nose and Hyzer angle was a little wonky. The distance, however, 282 feet. So I think maybe it's actually starting to detect when the disc stops moving. So in the other stuff, in the other videos, it almost looked like the disc, it wasn't detecting, it would detect up until it hit the ground. But now it looks like it's actually detecting the roll, because that rolled a long way. It hit the ground, not early, but it definitely didn't hit the ground at 282 feet. So obviously we can start to detect roller distances with this too. So that's kind of cool. I know I said one more, we're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna do one more. I wanna do one more distance shot. Let's see if we can't get the arm speed to hit 60 miles an hour. Yeah, it definitely came out flat. That's gonna roll quite a bit. Hopefully we got a better arm speed on that. Let's go have a look. All right, there we are. 54 miles an hour. My spin rate's still nice and high. I love seeing that spin rate up and around the 1200 RPM range and a distance of 256. So a couple takeaways as we wrap up here. Number one, obviously, it looks like we're getting proper roller distances now, which is kind of cool. I can start looking at that as well. Maybe install it on the Rollo. God, that would make the Rollo like incredibly understable. That would make it just almost unusable. And the second thing is, yeah, that absolutely, this drastically changed the flight of this disc. Thanks again for joining me here. Beardos, have a great day. Get out, play some disc golf. And hey, did you practice your putting today? Practice putting will make you a better disc golfer.